I also want to ask you about the sign behind you. I see these signs everywhere. I've watched you be quite active online over the last few years, and just for those who don't already know, what is Heartbeats Hate?
Well, Heartbeats Hate is a movement. It's a grassroots movement. It started when I was watching CNN 4 years ago, um, and was watching the rallies in Charlottesville, Virginia, where they were taking down some statues of Confederate war heroes. And these people, Proud Boys, and kind of these right wing nationalists, showed up and marched around the town with torches. Um, I was like, whoa, what is this? Munich in 1935? No, it's in Virginia, USA. And there's people that were like, uh, they seem to be full of hate. And then this kid gets in a car and drives. He's 18 years old. He drives his car at full speed, his mom's car, actually, into a crowd of demonstrators for the other side. He kills a woman and injures a score of them. Why? What was the decision making process? And somehow he had decided, and a lot of those other people had decided that hate was a choice, and that's the side that they went to. So the famous comedian Lily Tomlin once said, a quote, somebody ought to do something about that. Wait a minute, I'm somebody. And that was my moment watching CNN on a Sunday morning was, somebody should do something about that. Wait a minute. And I'd already done things like Stone Soup and whatever, kind of community building benefits and stuff. So I started writing. I like to write, and I came up with the theme, Heartbeats Hate, and was on the phone to a lawyer the next morning, checking copyright, etc. There was nothing on the internet; it was clear, and so I just started to offer this to people. Is this something you would be interested in supporting? And Facebook group, we have 5,200 people. We have signs up all over the place. People are getting it, and actually what helped resonate with folks was the let's all be kinder. That's where it all starts. So yeah, I mean, in some ways it was a side hustle or a side gig for me, but I think it's if I ever go into a hall of fame anywhere, I'll go in wearing the Heartbeats Hate hat. You know how they do with baseball and stuff, because that'll be the thing I'm most proud of at the end of the journey was helping people just be more aware that there's more kind people, there's more good people in the world than bad, but we're not noisy enough. So it's a communications thing is basically it, which I seem to be fairly good at. So I'm helping communicate that message. We have members now in Australia, New Zealand, the UK, the United States, Canada. So it'll roll. There'll be a momentum to it all. And my wife and I have started a fund with the KW Community Foundation, the HeartBeatsHate Fund, and it grants money to causes on an annual basis if those causes are connected somehow to children, because that's where I think we need to start. So
Yeah.
that's the Heartbeats Hate story.
And how can people contribute monetarily? I know that there's events and there's people speak, but can people donate?
Yes, I guess if you wanted to donate, I'd be I'd be happier if people would commit to behaving in the way that Heartbeats Hate advocates.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make a donation, the fund is available at the KW Community Foundation.
Okay, great.
We will be staging benefits once the some of the pandemic restrictions are removed. We'll be doing benefit concerts
Right.
and other things that people can contribute to, and then the money will go into the fund and back out into the community.
That's great. And that's a really important issue to me and a lot of people I know.
Also,
I immigrated here, and one of the things that always really struck me, really bothered me, was around that time too. Things were changing. I remember the election. Even here, there was a little bit of
mm,
nastiness creeping into Canada,
yes,
and it was disturbing. The language was starting to get used here, And it
Yeah.
was very, I think a lot of people had a big problem with that. And I
Yes.
think it's great to have a proper way to direct that energy. And so thanks for starting this. And,
Well,
you
thank
know,
you, Dave.
Kitchener-Waterloo is not perfect either. We're not like not Canada's not perfect.
Oh,
We have a lot of things in common with the US
you bet.
that, need to be acknowledged in our
Yeah.
culture and behavior too. So, looking forward to some of those next events and really appreciate chatting with you. I'm going to keep following you. You got to get out and put some more of those signs up.
Absolutely. I'll be doing that today, actually.
Well, thanks so much
Uh,
for being on the show, Alan. It's been a great time to chat.
Excellent. Thank you, David.